Hey, how's it going, guys? So, this is a Helldivers 2 video that I stumbled across when I was just checking out his channel. So, the channel is the Astro Historian, and I've been checking out his channel when it came to Star Citizen. And I just looked at the playlist, and something caught my eye. Apparently, he has a video about Helldivers 2 lore, and this one is called Know Your Foe Terminids, the bugs that don't want you to vote. Now, if you guys have been following my channel, I've been doing a lot of gameplay videos like soloing and doing with the squad. I've been checking out some funny moments with Helldivers 2. Did a lot of that, and I also did watch a few lore videos like talking about the Federation of Super Earth, and also just videos here and there. But I really want to hear the Astro Historian explain the Terminids, because I already have some idea of who the Terminids are, because we already fought them many times on different planets. But I want to hear from him how he explains it. Maybe there's something I missed, or maybe there's something I don't know. So again, shout out and credit goes to the Astro Historian. And one really cool thing about him is apparently he actually reached out and commented on one of my videos that I watched about the complete history of Star Citizen. So that was really cool. I mean, what just blows my mind is when I check out certain videos on certain channels and they have like a huge amount of subscribers, or they have a huge audience, the fact that they would actually notice the fact that I check out their videos and comment and saying like, thank you for checking this out and thank you for watching our videos, is insane, to be honest, because I'm still a small YouTuber and don't have that big of an audience. So that's just what really amazes me. So anyways, without anything else, let's just check out the video.
Democratic Day to you, Helldivers. As is required by the Ministry of Truth, you are watching this video in order to know your enemy better. It is important to remember that knowing your enemy and sympathizing with your enemy is a fine line, one that, if you step over, will result in being executed for treason on the spot. With that out of the way, let's look at the menace that are the Terminids. My name is Paul Shelley, and welcome to the Astro Historian.
All right, let's
this
take
is
a
a channel
look.
dedicated to exploring and explaining the lore of sci-fi and space universes and discussing their impact. Today we'll be looking at the universe of Helldivers 2, specifically the Terminids, who they are, where they come from, how to identify them, and how best to get rid of them. Let's start out where these insectoid aliens hail from. Their home is thought to be a desert planet on the eastern fringe of the galaxy known as Kelper Prime. They're a ravenous species, guided by the sole instinctive urge to reproduce, spread, and destroy freedom wherever their slimy maws can reach. They primarily burrow underground to create shelters called hives, in a form of disgusting communism where they plot to prevent freedom-loving citizens of Super Earth from voting. We currently don't know how they spread between planets, but what we do know is that when they arrive on a world, they spread quickly, consuming all that stands in their way, be it men, women, children, and yes, even puppies. They're a menace that threatens to stop the spread of democracy all over this wonderful universe, and as a result, must be eradicated. The one upside of these terrible creatures is that their decomposition creates a hydrocarbon similar to crude oil called element 710, which is theorized to be vital to FTL ships of Super Earth. This is why they have remained, even after the defeat at the hands of the Helldivers and Seif during the First Galactic War.
That would explain why there's always fuel missions to be done on Terminid planets. And on top of that, I like how he called the hive mind like communist and preventing us to vote. But I did play Helldivers 2 again today with a squad, and I swear to God, we had a bug breach like every 5 to 10 seconds, and it was insane. And we weren't even on super Helldive difficulty. But either way, Terminids are a pretty formidable opponent, and we used a lot of fire weapons like the incendiary shotguns and the napalm strikes, the lasers, just like everything. But for me personally, the rifle I really like to use is the Liberator Penetrator, because they do have some tough armor, especially at that level. So that's why using that rifle is really good with me, and also using the guard dog. But anyways, let's continue.
It is theorized that after the end of the First Galactic War, Dr. Hank P'Long managed to contain and safely breed the Nids in their own contained area, where they lived far away from the peace-loving citizens of Super-Earth and were farmed for their resources, ethically, of course. Part of this process was to genetically tweak these bugs, obviously to improve their lives and slightly
That's a really cool
improve the production
statue.
of E71 bugs.
Imagine if the Statue of Liberty got modified into that. That would actually look pretty cool.
Obviously to improve their lives and slightly improve the production of E710, and no other reason. Which is why today they look very different from when they did a century ago. During this process, they've somehow escaped and have overrun the eastern edge of the galaxy,
Biotitan.
which is why you have been called into service, to push back against the bug menace. Because these Terminids are so different from what they were a century ago, it's important to learn more about each enemy you will face on the battlefield, starting with the lowest ranking of the Hive Swarm, the Scavenger. These brainless bugs are harmless alone, but are always found in great numbers and act as scouts for the larger groups of Nids who are waiting nearby. Currently, they come in 3 different varieties: Basic, Bile Spitter, and Hopper. Basic Scavengers have the unique ability to create a bug breach. When encountering an enemy, they will raise their abdomen, chirp, and release pheromones, which will cause a bug breach, leading to more and usually larger Nids to emerge. While harmless on their own, they are more dangerous in large groups, where they will attempt to overwhelm their enemies with their powerful claws, while at least one will attempt to alert nearby allies.
That's when you call
These
in a
may also
napalm.
be infant versions of the Terminid warrior class. The Bile Spitter Scavenger is actually the infant Bile Spewer. Like its more mature form, this bug has short-range bile spit where it can shoot concentrated corrosive acid at its enemies, which can melt almost anything on contact in high enough concentrations. The Hopper Scavenger is actually an infant hunter. Like the basic version of the Scavenger, it has claws, but it can also jump long distances. All versions of the Scavenger are easily dealt with by application of even the smallest amounts of freedom. The most effective seem to be the Stalwart or Liberator assault rifles, but most Scavengers will be brought down by a single shot of just about any weapon due to their weak, democracy-hating bodies. Next, we'll look at the
Democracy-hating
Warrior. These
bodies.
bugs are the natural end
these
result of the
guys.
species optimized for mindless expansion. Their main weapons are their deadly claws, much larger and more dangerous than their smaller scavengers. Controlled, and I want to emphasize, controlled experiments have shown that they're capable of eviscerating innocent calves in under a second. Liberty knows what they could do to an innocent baby human. They also come in 3 different varieties: Basic, Bile, and Sentinel Guard. The basic version is a younger version of a Brood Commander. It has been known to ambush Helldivers by crawling underground and appearing behind them as a means of a surprise attack. They can also call in bug breaches like their smaller scavenger form. While their limbs are very easy to target,
I just unlocked the exosuit today, and I have yet to use it yet. But I mean, seeing the effectiveness of it from my other squad mates, I'm really excited to use it one day.
target and blow off, they remain 86% combat effective with one limb lost. Once they lose a limb, they also enter a heightened Berserker mode, which increases their attack speed and movement, making them more dangerous. The Bile Warrior is almost exactly the same as the basic Warrior, except they carry a similar yellow and orange sac of corrosive acid on the underbelly to the Bile Spitter, Spewer, and Titan. These explode when the warrior is killed, sending corrosive acid all around the surrounding area. These also may be infant versions of the larger Bile Titan. The last version of the warrior encountered thus far is the Sentinel Guard. Often found around nests, these warriors have heavily armored front legs which can come together to hunker to block incoming fire, which is immune to most light armor penetrating weaponry.
Yeah, but not
While hardier
the
than scavengers,
penetrator.
the warriors are fairly easy to take down. Taking down 2 of their legs, taking out their head, or attacking their soft underbelly can bring them down. Weapons like the Breaker Shotgun can kill most warriors in a single shot.
Yep.
However, with Bile Warriors, it is suggested to take them out from range to prevent being caught in its explosion.
For me, personally, when I use the Liberator Penetrator to like break through their armor, and it does work. But sometimes, you need more than a few rounds to like take it down, and you have to reload. That's when I switched to my sidearm, which is the Senator, and that thing is powerful, and that thing can kill it easily. So that is my favorite weapons combo: the Liberator Penetrator as my main, and the Senator as my sidearm.
When taking out Sentinel guards, it's suggested to do so in pairs, as the hunker mode prevents it from moving and leaves their sides and rear vulnerable to attack to another attacking Helldiver. Alternatively, a single Helldiver with good aim can shoot through the gaps of the armor.
Yep, there we go, Senator.
Or hit them with medium penetrating weapons. Next, let's look at the Hunters. While slightly smaller than warriors, what these nids lack in bulk, they make up for in their annoyingly quick reaction time. They can jump far and have fast attack and movement speeds. Scientists note that while this behavior might appear intelligent, it is merely a base instinct, akin to a housefly avoiding an incoming SWAT. They are easier to kill than warriors and are more akin to scavengers, but their increased speed and aggression means that Helldivers should prioritize them when encountered over other threats, as they can quickly become overwhelming in larger numbers. It is suggested that explosive and rapid-fire weapons be used when dealing with these pesky insects.
Yep.
Stalkers are a terrifying new threat on the battlefield, and are at least partially created through gene splicing research done on E710 farms.
Oh, yeah, these guys
can camouflage themselves to the point of near invisibility. Never fear though, nothing can hide from the cleansing light of liberty, especially when delivered through Helldivers. Additionally, you can use smoke to reveal the outline of these nids while they're cloaked to help you deliver democracy.
By the way, guys, the moments where the quality of the video drops, that's not me. This right now, the setting is at the highest it can go for quality. It's just for some reason when he starts moving around or starts shooting, his video quality drops a little bit. So I'm just letting you guys know I'm at the highest quality setting there is. So this is not me.
A little bit more efficiently. They're found in specialized hives called stalker lairs. When encountering these creatures, it should be high priority to take out their lairs to prevent them from arriving on the battlefield in greater numbers. Uniquely, the stalker will use its tongue to reach its target.
An invisible bug. Okay, so I was thinking about something else. Because I don't think I encountered one like that. Or maybe I did, but I just never seen it go invisible like that. Wow.
Attack, giving it some range compared to others of its kind. These disgusting appendages will knock down a Helldiver in full kit, so it's suggested to engage them at range if possible. It should be noted that they are tougher than the average warrior and can take a lot of firepower to put down. Adding to this resilience, this coward of a bug will retreat if it feels too much of the blinding power of freedom, only to return at the most inopportune of times. Bile spewers appeared following repeated and frequent, unavoidable spills of toxic chemicals on E710 farms.
Those guys are like the artillery.
Is bloated with several metric tons of corrosive acids, which it vomits in revulsion upon encountering democracy. These vile creatures are also known to hurl their chemical excretions in large mortar-like chunks to act as a kind of bug artillery.
Yep.
The volume of both of these attacks can literally melt a Helldiver in one hit, making them dangerous foes. There's a single variation of the spewer known as the nursing spewer. These are the adolescent versions of the bug between its larval scavenger form and its adult form. These do not have the ability to fire mortars, but do consistently emit a low-lying fog from their bodies, making them easier to detect from distances. Their large thorax can be targeted as a weak spot, but normal weapons do reduce damage due to the material which makes up the sac being hardened to prevent chemical spills. It is actually better to target their heads, as they lack armor there, and even light armor-penetrating weapons will be highly effective. Grenades can also be effective if landed underneath the spewer, but railguns, grenade launchers, and other heavy weapons can down them in a few shots. The Chargers are one of the most dangerous threats you will face on the battlefield against the Terminid menace. These bugs are covered in a near meter.
I can't tell you guys how many times I died from that bug. Oh my god, I mean, I can feel the controller vibrating, and the next thing I know, by the time I see it, that thing is already coming at me. So my methods of taking out chargers are three ways. One, call a stratagem on it and have it blow up, but usually that takes a lot of precision unless the stratagem sticks to it. Two, I use a quasar cannon, but that takes like 2 shots to kill, unless you shoot it directly in its head, but that takes a lot of precision. Or three, and this has been really effective, placing thermites on it. Those thermite grenades are more useful than you think, in case you guys did not know. But then again, a lot of you guys have been telling me it's a great choice. But the thermite grenade is very effective against big guys like chargers. I even took down impalers with it. I even took down a bile titan. So those are the grenades that are very handy if you ever go against big guys.
Thick exoskeleton, which makes it nearly impossible to stop it when it charges at you. Seeing that charging is its preferred method of attack, you can see why this creature is considered so difficult to tackle. The most basic method of dealing with them while attacking you is to implement the Helldiver standard Rapid Lateral Movement, or RLM, preferably away from the direction of its charging.
Yep.
While they do look intimidating, remember, at their core, they're still just stupid, pathetic, and freedom-hating bugs with just a bit more armor. Armor-piercing weapons fired at its forelegs can stagger and break its thick armor. Once it's stripped away, even the most conventional weapon can bring them down by shooting the flesh underneath. You can also attack the exposed abdomen
it takes a lot of ammo.
unarmored back of its legs, but these will take longer to take down without armor-piercing or anti-tank weapons. Additionally, you can lead chargers into walls, where they will likely get stunned and take some damage in the process. Like most things in life, the key to taking down chargers is democratic teamwork and precise application of firepower.
For democracy.
The Bile Titan is the largest currently known Terminid strain. It is said that a single Bile Titan can destroy an entire Seaf platoon on its own. It is not recommended to engage these massive bugs unless you have heavy-duty orbital stratagems or have a high personnel replacement budget. They act similarly to
Today's video, I'm sorry guys for pausing so many times, but I have there are things I do want to say. I managed to take down a Bile Titan today with the Senator. You just got to shoot it in the head many times.
bile spewers, but are faster and can spit larger volumes of corrosive bile at any target farther away. Never fear though, we've all seen the simulations. Bile Titans are tough, but they ain't invincible. The best way to deal with them is through use of tools like orbital rail cannon strikes, eagle-delivered 500-kilogram bombs, or good old-fashioned hellpod drops through its body. Lacking that, using anti-armor weapons such as the RS-422 railgun on unsafe mode, FAF-14 Spear missile launcher, and the rockets on the recently released EXO-45 Patriot to target its head can bring them down quickly. It's important, its head is the most vulnerable spot, similar to the spewers. If none of these are available to you, remember to use terrain to your advantage. Tactically advance away from the Titan, and where possible, target its bile sacs on its abdomen to prevent it from using its main attack. These things are tough and can take a lot of firepower to bring down, but with patience, teamwork, and as many bullets as democratically available, you can kill them. Just be aware, where there's one Bile Titan, there are usually more. Lastly, we'll look at the fascist authoritarians that lead these foul creatures against the agents of liberty and peace, the Brood Commander. This strain of Terminid is the ultimate evolved form of the basic warrior and commands the Terminid forces through a mixture of pheromone-like spores and authoritarian shrieks. This bloodthirsty bug is known for its undeniable hatred of the right to vote. This strain is the ultimate Nid, armored with a tendency to charge like a charger, fearsome claw attacks like warriors, and stubbornly high resistance like Bile Titans, similar to its basic.
What really threw me off was like how resistant that thing is. I mean, I emptied out an entire magazine of Liberator Penetrator on it, and it was still alive and still coming at me, which really threw me off. So, wow.
Warrior form. Its weakness is in its limbs, but unlike them, it can continue to attack even with 2 limbs destroyed. It can even go into its own berserker mode after destroying its head, where it will gain an impressive movement and attack speed for 3 seconds before finally expiring.
Oh, that explains why it was still coming.
Is their ability to call in bug breaches of massive sizes, bringing in large swarms of Terminids against the allies of freedom. But just like any bug brain, the use of orbitals, eagle strikes, sentries, or the humble assault rifle will bring an end to these tyrannical Terminid menaces. That is what we know about the Terminid menace thus far, their various strains, tactics, and best means to bring them down. Remember, you are fighting on the right side of history, and through teamwork and unquestioning loyalty to managed democracy, we can make the future safe for our families and their modestly mortgaged homes. I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, think about liking the video, subscribing for more content, and hitting the bell icon to be notified when these release. I'd also like to thank those on screen now for supporting the channel financially. If you want to throw in a few credits, think about becoming a member on YouTube. And if you want a bit more for your contribution, join the Ko-fi or Patreons. Patreons and Ko-fi members receive early ad-free access to all videos, including this one. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this and any other lore topic in the comments below. And as always, remember, ex historia ad astra.
That was really great. I really loved how the Astro Historian presented that video. So shout out and credit goes to the Astro Historian. Many of the bugs, I faced every single bug that was mentioned in this video. And if you guys really want to see, check out my gameplay videos and you'll see them. But I say the toughest one out of all, in my opinion, is actually the Brood Commander. Not the Bile Titan, not the Charger, not the Impaler. The Brood Commander. Because one, there's so many of them. Two, they summon like other bugs and they're actually pretty formidable too. So that's why I say they're pretty difficult. Because the Bile Titan and the Charger, you just shoot a Quasar Cannon or place a Thermite on them, done. I mean, it's the same thing with the Brood Commander, but there's always like more than one at a time and they are pretty strong and quick. So, and they kind of like have all the abilities of every single bug combined into one except for the acid. But I really like how the Astro Historian really presented this video, kept on using democratic as an adjective and all that. So that was really great. So shout out and credit goes to the Astro Historian. But that's the only Helldivers 2 lore video he has. So hopefully more will come in the future. Maybe he'll talk about the Luminate, the automatons, or maybe Super Earth in general. So that's all I got for today. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that notification bell so you know when I drop more videos. And also shout out to all my members, subscribers, viewers. You guys are amazing. And since this is a Helldivers 2 lore video, I might as well end it with for prosperity, for liberty, for democracy, for Super Earth. I'll see you guys next time.